Welcome to the agenda after a disappointing day on Saturday at the MCG. Yep, Carlton spoilt the party again. With me is Jay Clark from the Herald Sun. Jay, it's time for a change, surely.
It is, Chris. So, very disappointing result. But one man I want to focus on off the top is Matthew Scharenberg. Now, pick 4 in the draft a few years ago. We know about the terrible run with injury he's had, the knees, the feet, etc. But he was second best on ground in the VFL, Chris. And he has that kicking, that lovely kicking.
The elite kicking, Jay. The elite kicking.
Exactly. And so, with the ball movement issues that the Pies have probably experienced this season, really, this whole season, it's time to bring him in. The cavalry's going to return. There's going to be changes. I think Shade will come back. Wells will come back. Scharenberg, I mentioned. Aish may be for his run. And Scotty Pendlebury, the captain, his lovely wife, Alex, she's due very soon, Chriso.
Oh, no.
So the captain might not go
He's
to
not
Sydney.
Miss.
He might. Mate, family first. Don't start that, Chriso. Family first. So Rupert Wills, who missed the VFL with some calf tightness.
Can't afford him this.
Mate, he's going to be a devoted father. He's a devoted husband, and he might not go because he'll be looking after potentially his newborn baby. So Scotty Pendlebury might miss, but Wells and time for Scharenberg. I want to see this man.
Can I tell you, Jay, it doesn't get any easier. We are on the road for the first time this year up to GWS. But the positive is GWS have never beaten Collingwood. In the history of GWS, they haven't. But now last year, absolutely dominated up there, won clearances, contested possessions, inside 50s and tackles. Can we do it again?
Well, the lens is going to be on their attitude, the Giants, for mine, because there's lots of sort of ugly finger pointing and blaming in their loss to St Kilda at the weekend. So Leon Cameron,
fired up, aren't they?
Yeah, they're going to be very fired up. And the issue for me is the outside run. They're thoroughbreds, Callie, Shield, these guys. Their outside run. I mean, for us, for the Pies, Aish, Phillips, they're going to have their skates on the outside of the contest. And Greenwood, should he tag? He didn't tag Murphy at the weekend. I didn't like that. Yes, he went to Doherty, but I think Greenwood's best role in this side is as a tagger.
As a tagger.
So maybe that's Shield, is it? Or
you can pick anyone. Ward. But what St Kilda did, Jay, is they denied them time and space, particularly in that final quarter. So hopefully that can be achieved. Now let's talk a bit about Saturday.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, because I thought early versus Carlton, over handball, Chriso. So in the wet in particular, I think you've really got to strip it back. Well, that's what footy clubs do. It's a more simplified kicking game plan. You want possession. And Brendan Bolton coached this win magnificently. I really think he's a young coach on the rise. And Collingwood made a lot of mistakes with over-possessing handball. Pendle's 8 kicks, 21 handballs. Chalor, 7 kicks, 14 handballs. Tay Adams, 13 kicks, 14 handballs. So Tim Broome had one kick, 10 handball. Now, he's a pretty good kick.
Well, he's one of the guys that you want to get the ball into his hands because he can use the ball. So who do we want to get the ball? Whose hands do we want to get the ball into?
Good question. Pendle, you would say Pendle.
Chalor, 7 kicks, 14 handballs?
Yeah, his kicking has been a bit on and off. Nathan Buckley also raised the fatigue factor, didn't he? And said, 3 games in 12 days, they're going to be a bit tired. Well, it was really the club's choice to play on the Tuesday Anzac Day. They could have said they didn't play. So I don't buy the fatigue excuse. Next Anzac Day is on a Wednesday. Is Collingwood going to take the money with that? So maybe if the fatigue is an issue, then don't play midweek.
Now, Jay, I want to look forward. I want to look forward not to this week, not to 2 weeks, but next year and beyond.
Or trade special.
Absolutely. Because what we need to do is we need to target a key forward.
Yeah. Well, the inside 50 conversion's been the issue, hasn't it?
A key forward. Because when we look back at the VFL, there's really, and Jesse White played in the VFL on the weekend and played in the ruck. Now, he can play a role, but there's no one really to come in to make a statement. Now, we need... Tom Lynch is the man. Now, it might be difficult to get, but what about the names like McCartan, O'Brien, Shackey, Hipwood, Wiedemann from Melbourne, and even Sam Reid. Now, Sam Reid is out of contract. Is he someone you think we could go for?
He's the one, Chriso, no doubt, because he's a free agent. There's still a bit of confusion about what that means, but a free agency means that he can come for free. So there's no trade. You don't have to give a first or second round pick. He's been in Sydney for 8 years, and that means he walks in the door for no trade. So he is the one. Ben wants to play with him, clearly. He's going to get a bit of a pay cut at Sydney, and I think there's a good chance he'll be at Collingwood or Richmond next season. As a centre-forward marking target, he's in career best form. I think he's clearly the man.
We need someone.
Monday moment. What's your highlight?
Well,
from the Carlton game?
There wasn't. I had to really go through in a lot of detail to find a couple of
deep in the
highlights.
barrel?
Yeah, I did.
Or right down the
But I
bottom?
did find a couple of marks.
Yep.
One from the perennial screamer taker, and that is, of course, Jeremy Howe.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, not
just
bad.
up and about. Just,
Yeah.
I mean, look at that.
The
That's
thing is
just
that-
gold. And
Oh,
not one of our regulars in terms of our spectacular marks.
yes.
Taylor Adams.
A double. Yeah, I
Taylor
think
Adams.
that's a better one.
I've squeezed a couple in there. Look
Yeah.
at Tay.
Yeah.
Up on the shoulder.
Like it.
Bang. Happy days.
Is he winning Collingwood's best and fairest to this
Have
point?
to be close.
Yeah, be pretty close.
What about Big Brody?
Your man's just sort of...
No, just only one down sort of week. He'll be right.
Couple
Now,
of
what
weeks.
about your Monday
Well,
moment?
I've gone a bit left field, Chris, and I know you'll enjoy this because Nathan Buckley had his press conference at the weekend, of course, celebrating Victoria Park and 125th year anniversary of the football club. And Nathan Buckley at his press
now I know where you're
conference
going. You've been
said
very quiet
this.
about this.
It's a bit eerie coming back here because Monday, Tuesday and Thursday nights at sort of 5 o'clock we used to train here when I first arrived at the club, and Michael Christian had come after a full day at the as a stockbroker and just lift three sets of 8 sort of bench press, sort of do a little bit of a dance, and that'd be his full training. He wouldn't do much more than that.
So in a nutshell, Chriso, Nathan Buckley is saying, you didn't do any work in training. You rocked up, you did your dance at the disco or whatever, a few little beach weights. What did you do
No,
there,
but
mate?
no, hang on. The thing that he didn't mention is he was in there with me every step of the way.
Oh.
Just that he was a much better player.
Yeah, we want a response about that, Bucks, for you, one amongst the Victorian Park dancers.
Jay,
You trained very
we
hard,
might end it-
unlike yourself.
We might end that on that note. Thanks for joining us on The Agenda. Hope you can join us next week.